want to make a family for my 5 kids.
Now, Ms. Douglas, you just keep saying, okay, now see, I do not believe in cheating. I do not believe in cheating. But when he does this, then I go do that. Now, at some point, the tit for tat, it just turns into a catastrophe.
Entangled in the romance of being with an older man, Ms. Moyet wasn't only left with having to take care of her little baby girl, but she was also left with a more than shattered heart. Will she get over the heartbreak? Let's find out.
Moyet, you're here in court today to prove that Mr. Lester, a man who is 20 years older than you, is the father of your 3-month-old daughter, Nyla Moyet. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. Well, Your Honor, Mr. Lester has hardly been involved in Nyla's life. Besides the fact of 3 cases of diapers.
Things were never all lovey-dovey between Mr. Lester and Ms. Moyet. When she found out she was pregnant, she told Mr. Lester. But was he excited about the baby? Hell no. It was like the baby was gonna spoil all the fun he was having.
When you told him about the pregnancy, what was his reaction, Ms. Moyet?
He was not happy. I actually planned this pregnancy. I went over to his house the day I was ovulating, okay? And I let him know, babe, I'm ovulating. I want to have a baby. We did nothing.
That is not true.
Yeah, we did nothing to prevent Nyla. And to make matters even worse, since I've had Nyla, we still haven't done anything to prevent another one.
Mr. Lester wasn't going to allow her to state the obvious, so he jumped in and called her a big fat liar, stating that all she said was all in her head and they hadn't been intimate in a really long while. Well, I sure saw that coming. He denied it all. But the revelations from Ms. Moyet will leave you in so much shock.
That's a lie. And now, it's not, Yana, we've had sex since I've had my daughter 5 times. I've counted.
That's not true.
Well, she's only 3 months old.
Exactly.
And
Yesterday, when you had sex, did you use protection?
yeah.
No.
Mr. Lester isn't being nice to Ms. Moyet at all in the courtroom. He kept emphasizing the fact that he didn't want a relationship with Ms. Moyet. He said he just wanted to have a good time. But Ms. Moyet was insistent on having a baby for him. Now, who's telling the truth? I'm pretty confused at this point.
I did want a sexual relationship without being in a committed relationship. I did want that, and she agreed to it.
I
And we
agreed
both-
to it in the
we both
beginning. And when he
agreed to
told me that he loved me, it opened me up to the fact that, well, maybe it could be. I mean, my background is not the best as far as me and my father.
It was war in that courtroom. The things that were coming out of both Mr. Lester and Ms. Moyet's mouths were just very unbelievable. Even Judge Lauren was very confused as she couldn't add up what they were saying.
You're 45 years old.
Absolutely.
So when a woman says to you, I want to have your baby, and you say, no, I really don't want you to, and you're still having sex without protecting yourself, you're setting yourself up.
I've only had sex with Iris for 5 times.
That's a lie. You've never used
Your
a
Honor.
condom. Now, with the girls that he's cheating on me with.
Mr. Lester, who never wanted to have a kid with Ms. Moyet, stated that he had doubts that the baby was his. Was he being delusional? I mean, he was basically sleeping with Ms. Moyet without using protection. Trust me, people, these two are nuts.
Boyfriend that's better than me, and I asked her, well, why you calling me tonight? Her response to me was, I could do both of y'all. I could do him Monday and do you Tuesday.
Yana, that's a lie. Let me tell you, that's a lie, Yana.
Thirdly, I come by, I see her with the same guy over and over and over again.
The neighborhood
The
guy.
neighborhood guy, yes.
Well, it's finally time to uncover the truth after so many lies and deceptions. The day of reckoning is finally here, with everyone itching to know the truth. Are you ready to find out? I bet you are. So take a deep breath because here it comes.
Mr. Lester, you are Nyla's father.
Yes! Yes!
Ma'am.
Ma'am.
Didn't I tell you?
Ma'am.
Didn't I tell you?
You need to be
Ms.
respectful.
Moyet,
Didn't I tell you?
Ma'am, I understand you're upset. Use proper language.
Mr. Jones and Ms. Dolis have to be the funniest couple on the Paternity court show. Their love story bounces from cheating to lying to deceiving. You just name it. From one charade to the next, these two find themselves in court, dragging each other for who is the better parent. Buckle up, people. You're about to be dumbfounded by this couple's drama.
All right, Ms. Douglas, you are suing the father of your 5 children for a paternity test. You claim at times the defendant, Mr. Jones, doesn't treat your daughter, Cheyenne, as his own, and that he has always been suspicious that he's not her biological father. You admit that you kept a secret from him and you cheated on him with his cousin.
Getting down into the bits of this drama, right from the beginning of the case, Ms. Dolas admitted to cheating on Mr. Jones. She apparently slept with his cousin. Now that's all shades of crazy if you ask me. Here's the shocking thing. Mr. Jones was no saint. He was also cheating on her with her own cousin and one of his baby mamas. I would have lost my mind if I were the judge, judge, honestly.
You admit to cheating. Do you believe the defendant has reason to doubt paternity of Cheyenne?
Yes, Your Honor, I do, because I did make a mistake. I slept with his cousin, and the condom had broke. But before that, Tyrone was downstairs sleeping with my cousin. He was still having sex with his baby's mom.
Just like in the movies, Mr. Jones and Mrs. Douglas met at a party. Things got pretty freaky and interesting after that, and they ended up getting pretty intimate. Well, I saw that coming. Prepare to be wowed. After her cozy night with Mr. Jones, she met his cousin, and voila, she went down on him too. How does that even happen?
It got good. I met Tyrone actually at a party that happened downstairs in my building. I met him and his cousin almost the same night. Me and Tyrone got together the first night we watched movies. The next night we did have sex, but we weren't together. We just had sex, and after that he went back to his other baby's mom. And then I met his cousin, and I slept with his cousin, but we weren't together.
Things were starting to get heated up in the courtroom, with both of them staring into each other's eyes like it was about to be a bloodbath. Boom! Ms. Douglas gets pregnant. Ring, ring, ring. She hits up and tells Mr. Jones that it's his baby. Things seem pretty nice, right? Well, let's burst some bubbles.
I mean, sort of. We actually wasn't in a relationship at the time when she slept with my cousin, but she basically just denied doing it up until the point. That's the reason we here now.
Okay. What did you feel, Mr. Jones, when you heard Ms. Douglas say, "I'm pregnant and it's yours"?
I wasn't too sure about it when she told me, but I'm like, okay, when she did tell me, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna step up and do what I gotta do.
She finally decides to open up 2 damn years later, telling Mr. Jones that she had a thing with his cousin. You could see the rage in his eyes, wondering where and how it all went down. Just like that, good baby daddy starts to play the role of, I'm not sure this is my kid. I did tell you things were going to escalate.
Everything. How long did it take you to tell the truth?
After my daughter was 2 years old.
Okay, so you are are you in a committed relationship?
No.
You just going along for the baby's sake.
But when I was pregnant, he didn't care. He did not care at all.
Did you care?
I mean, I cared, but it was just to the point to where when I met her, she was pregnant by another guy who was actually incarcerated at the time, but she was also messing around with another guy.
Slowly, all hell starts to break loose. Ms. Douglas spills the beans about Mr. Jones, telling the court how he wasn't there for her daughter and that he was taking care of his other kids with his baby mama. Yup, you had that right. Other kids. It's already a whole mess at this point. Everyone's asking, who's really telling the truth?
When the baby was 2, he went to Chicago with his other's baby mama. We were together then, and I'm pregnant with his son. He went to Chicago. We didn't hear from him for about 4 months. Didn't call check up on his daughter, didn't call check up on the pregnancy or nothing. How I knew he was in Chicago with his baby mama was she texted my phone like, "Oh, you're looking for your man? He's with me. You wonder why he's not calling your daughter? Because he's with me." That's how I knew he was in Chicago.
Emotions are flying here and there. Hold your seats for another bombshell, people. Trust me, your ears aren't ready for this. This couple had other kids before their daughter, and they aren't even married. Are these two a baby factory, or what's going on with them?
You all 5 children potentially together. Was your relationship ever committed? Was it ever an important thing to either one of you? Are we just making babies? Is it a baby factory? What is it?
It's clear that these two had no trust for each other. Even after having more than 1 child together, they can't seem to bring themselves to trust each other. Why would they? I mean, after getting intimate with each other's cousins. That's beyond a far stretch.
Even after child number 2, you think he's cheating?
Yeah. I just had my twins 7 months ago. He's still talking to women. I don't never talk to anybody first. After I find out he cheats on me, that's when I do it. But I really do want to be with him, and I want to make a family for my 5 kids.
Now, Ms. Douglas, you just keep saying, okay, now see, I do not believe in cheating. I do not believe in cheating. But when he does this, then I go do that.
Everything went from a peaceful conversation to a bloodbath, with the couples throwing tantrums about who got intimate with whom and who couldn't be a good parent. Well, the moment of truth is finally here. Every single eye is placed on the judge as she's about to reveal the final verdict. Hold your breath.
Mr. Jones, you are not fired.
She knew this from the beginning. Now I'm embarrassed, gotta face public humiliation because she didn't want to be honest before we came here.
Your Honor, I didn't know. I didn't even know the
You
kind of
knew,
busted.
man.
Man, now my daughter ain't gonna have a dad.
This almost felt like betrayal on Mr. Patterson's path. After taking care of the baby and making sure he was present every day of the kid's life, Ms. Knight wakes up one morning and says, he isn't the father. We're about to dive into a tale of delusion. Grab your pie and enjoy the ride.
Opened your case today to prove that you are 4-year-old DeMarcus Patterson Jr.'s biological father. You named him and have cared for your junior since birth and are furious the defendant now claims another man is his father. father. Is this correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
We are about to enter the domain of questionable romance, where these guys' relationship isn't exactly a fairy tale. It is a saga involving two men, a lady, and a 4-year-old boy.
You know, since he came out the womb, since he entered this world, when the doctor first, held him up and finally gave him to him, I witnessed him just completely quit crying and looked me dead in my eyes. And that's when, at that moment, I knew I became someone's father. So at that moment, like all the doubts that we had before, I just knew like they were just out the window and just it was gonna leave us a happy family.
Well, the doubts and reservations were running pretty deep over here, but no worries, cause baby daddy went on a long rant explaining why he had his doubts. And boy, did he bag some solid points.
Yes, Your Honor, in a way. When she first told me she was pregnant, that's when we was like, I guess you could say doing the house hopping thing, cause like in order
Doing the what?
the house hopping thing, cause when she moved out of her parents' house, she ain't had nowhere to go, so let her live there too.
I mean, that's how we started our relationship. We were together every day since then. DeMarcus ended up cheating on me within the time we were together, and I ended up leaving.
Things started to take a different turn as the truth started to unfold. Ms. Knight was not a faithful partner. The tension started to fill the courtroom, and even Judge Lauren was amazed by the things she heard. Yup, they were crazy.
Which is the other possible father.
Right. We ended up having protected sex that night, and then we ran out of condoms, and while we were doing it, I told him to go ahead and get me pregnant. That's what I told him. And as soon as I found out I was pregnant, I called DeMarcus and let DeMarcus know, I'm pregnant right now, and it's a possibility that it's Ladarius's baby or your baby. DeMarcus told me to come home.
So
I
you
gave
got
birth.
back together with Mr. Patterson.
Because me and Ladarius were like oil and water, and we could not do it.
Ms. Knight finds out she's pregnant. Well, that's not surprising. Accusations start flying about the courtroom like it's a competition. They go on making a fuss about what to name the baby. It turns into a whole charade, and no one can make any sense of what's going on. The question I keep asking is how they even became a couple.
DeMarcus looked over, said, "That's my baby. We ain't naming him no Christian. We naming him DeMarcus Patterson."
Did you say that, Mr.
That ain't exactly how it happened.
How'd it go?
When I looked the baby in the eyes, I was like, dang, he just completely just be quiet, just quit crying, everything like he was at peace. And I looked at her, and that's when the doctors left the room. She was like, what name should we give him? I was like, oh no. She said, I always wanted a junior, and I was like, you'll do that?
There's a whole lot of craziness going on right now. As things go on, Judge Lauren starts to dig a little deeper. She starts to find out the most shocking things. And when I say shocking, trust me, your jaws are going to drop.
Does DeMarcus Jr. call Mr. Patterson daddy?
Yeah. DJ turned about 3 months, and I looked at him one time, and I was like, wow, he kind of looked like Ladarius.
Oh, so you all were open about this?
Yes, we were always open. We would take rides to the gas station. He'd show me pictures of Ladarius, like, you sure this ain't that?
Their stories stopped making sense and adding up. It sounded like they were being made up, and Judge Lauren just wasn't having it anymore. She asked the other man in the picture to step into the courtroom, and my God, did he have a lot to say.
In the midst of me and Kaylin having dealings or intimacy, I was the one who told her she was pregnant. And when I told her she was pregnant, she said, well, if you feel like that, take me to the clinic. So I did. So when we got back from that situation, we had conflict. She like, it could possibly be his. It could possibly be yours. So therefore now, like she say, oil and water.
Now this is where it all gets really messed up. When I say messed up, I mean really, really messed up. The 4-year-old boy calls both men daddy. How does a kid call 2 different men daddy? This really is a baby daddy war.
One thing about this young man, if don't nobody else love me, he gonna love me.
And so, Mr. Patterson, I have to ask you, how do you feel knowing that your son is calling another man daddy too?
Be honest, I used to think about it hard back in the days, but it's her mess. She gotta clean it up. That's what we're here for today, you know?
It's all of your mess.
Yeah.
Because if you're not the father, this 4-year-old young boy has your name.
Hold your breath now, paternity folks, because the DNA test results are ready to be revealed. Tension was escalating, emotions were running high, and the truth was about to hit like a plot twist. Who's the real baby daddy? Let's see.
The biological father is Mr. Sigler. You are DJ's biological father. What do you feel right now?
Hurt. Could have been avoided.
It could have been avoided.
I love that little boy right there. I know he's gonna be happy. You can bring him out right now, he's gonna run straight to me.
The doubts start to troll in and all hell starts to break loose. This frantic dad wants answers to the paternity puzzle that's been digging holes in his mind. Is he gonna get the answers he's looking for? Well, let's find out, shall we? It's about to be another bumpy ride of baby daddy drama.
Mr. Pickett, you claim that when your son turned 3, the defendant, your wife, admitted to you that you may not be his biological father. You have petitioned the court for a paternity test, seeking a definitive answer today with hopes that your son is biologically yours.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Pickett and Ms. Pickett sure do look like the cute couples we expect them to be, but hold up, there's more to see than meets the eye. These two have been caught up in so much baby drama. Guess what, people? They're even separated. Must have been one hell of a ride for these two.
Family. Now let the court clarify, you two are separated, right now. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so Mr. Pickett, why are you so sure you are not Patrick's father?
I took an extended vacation, let's call it, right? And during that vacation, you know, we had separated.
Don't forget, these two have been separated for a while. Mr. Pickett takes a vacation for work purposes, at least so he claims. He gets back from his vacation and pays a visit to Ms. Pickett to check on their son. That's when things start to get a little tricky. Trust me, you aren't ready for the mystery that's about to unfold.
So I asked my son, I said, who is that guy over there that be's at the house with your mom? And my son, he's like 5 years old. He's a little kid. He says, I think that's my mom's boyfriend. I'm like, for real? So I ask her, she denies it. Now, I hate these extended vacations, Your Honor. I took another one, mind you.
Can't stand him.
Can't stand it. Now, this extended vacation,
Mr. Pickett, with the Mr. Innocent role, continues to explain his side of the story, and for some reason, it just doesn't make any sense. It's so confusing that Judge Lauren tells him to back it up. The things that popped out of his mouth were totally mind-blowing.
Wait, no, I don't feel you. Back it up.
I'm gonna back it up.
Say it again.
Her friend was dating my friend. He told me that the other guy that was there was for Shanae. So
it was one of those type things.
it was one of those type of things. Now this extended vacation is over. I'm back again. I'm playing daddy. I have no problem with playing daddy. I love my kids. That's why I'm here today. I love these little guys. Let's just speed it up just a little bit.
After being apart for God knows how long, they decide to give it another try and get back together. Yup, we all know where that's leading. Of course, things seem to be okay at first, but soon after it all turns into wildfire. Things spiral out of control, and trust me when I tell you, it's worse than you can imagine.
In the back of my mind, I wish I could blow this little thought out.
So you're back together?
We back. It's cool. Swimming pools on the side of the house, everything's good.
Okay.
So I ask her. She denies. I ask her, she denies.
What do you ask her?
I'm asking her, is these my kids? Is this my son? Have you been cheating? You know, I love you. I quit cheating. And you can ask the girls, they be like, man, I'm going home.
The little mysteries start to find their way out of the little corners, and things start to take an unexpected turn. Mr. Pickett finds out that his wife was getting intimate with another guy just before his kid was born. Oops! Things are about to get real juicy, guys, I can bet on it.
If you're a real man, you will take the blame of your family being in any kind of disaster or anything like that.
So, let me recap your doubts. She admitted to an affair, number one.
Right.
While you were gone, you had no idea what she was doing. You know there might have been something going on.
Your Honor,
and then she admitted to it.
I called on that phone.
This guy had to be the most dramatic man to ever walk the planet Earth. At every single junction of his narration, there was always a hilarious reaction from him. Even Judge Lauren couldn't hide her amusement. Now hold up, all that laughter was about to turn into a real hot mess.
I went away on vacation, I let my family down. I left you out here.
Right.
You made some mistakes, so in the end, I'm gonna forgive you.
Yes.
That's what you were saying to her.
It's over, I'm gonna let it go.
And I'm gonna let it go, and we're gonna try to put this marriage back together.
Based on the fact that I wanna be this little dude's, his son, his father, his son. Because when I'm old and I need him, he'll be there for me.
Now, Ms. Pickett wasn't having her best day in court, trust me. You could read it off her face that she couldn't wait for the ground to open up and just swallow her. But come on, she cheated. I mean, it's only right that she felt that way. But is Mr. Pickett in a forgiving mood? I strongly doubt that.
So, what do you have to add to this? Do you believe what Mr. Pickett is saying, that he's a forgiving man, he's made mistakes?
No. First of all, Brandon never forgave her for anything she's done. He loves his kids dearly. He wants to be with them all the time. He has them now, but he's never forgiven her. He's never given her a chance for anything. Like, she can't work, she can't social with people, she can't do nothing.
You saying he's controlling?
He's very controlling.
Now, they got into another argument about the process of trying to rebuild their family. The only issue now was Mr. Pickett was still sleeping around with other women. How on earth were they going to make it work if he was doing that?
How does cheating or sleeping with other women, if you don't consider it cheating,
If she not wanting to be with me,
rebuild the marriage?
If like you asked are you guys separated? Yes, we both said. I don't want to be alone. Who does? If we're not in agreement that we want to be lovers and friends, and you want to let your sister is talking more than you control your life, then I have to find somebody else that's going to love me and my children, because I'm here for love of family.
So because she's speaking up for me.
Well, the suspense is finally over, and the hassle of who the dad of their child is about to be revealed. It's been a bumpy and funny ride with Mr. Pickett and Ms. Pickett. All eyes are on the judge as she unleashes the truth. Get ready, paternity folks.
Mr. Pickett, you are his father.
Oh, yeah. Look, I got something for you. Hold on. See, it's straight up. It's straight up. I'm good.
Now you were about to get tackled by Jerome